studies of seven policy differences in American relationship. So first, alright, to all audiences here, I need to ask permission that I need to bring my phone here as my presentations today. And at first, before we do the next explanations, I'm going to tell you about the scope or even the sequence of these presentations. First, of course, I'm going to explain about the whole overview of these measuring statistics. First is about introduction, second is about literary review, and the third is about the methodology or research method, and fourth is about results and conclusions. As my research background, I'm going to tell about I'm going to present about the role of language. Alright, because my research today is talking about the linguistic pragmatic dispute. So, my first background of study, the role of language. As we know that language is important roles or important needs for human needs, right? And also, with language people can interact or even communicate in concept of conveying their ideas, thoughts, and also conveying their feelings like that. But you know guys, in social linguistic studies, that language is already as a symbol of systems in the terms of sound, diverse, and unique. Alright. But along with the development of times, that language or the diversity of languages now evolved, according to its purpose and its use. And alright, but nowadays in this advanced era, no longer guys, or in this technology era, people having trouble in behavior ignoring the impoliteness in the speaking. So as a result, people must be surprised if there is a conflict due to a technical weakness in their speaking. As we see that communications or the communication people right now involving the impoliteness inside of us. And we know that impoliteness is attitude or negative attitude towards a specific behavior occurring in a specific context. According to journal paper, that impoliteness is communications behavior to attack, of course, to attack place of target in interlocutor of target face. That's all. And the third, as my reasons here, why I choose Simon Cole's American Idol here because according to later and entitled 2009 year stage, there are relations between watching programs that guys contains verbal behavior, aggressions, and the young person's behavior. So as we know that now television has much or most influences in behaving or aggressions someone or audience like that. And why I choose American Idol as my object and Simon Cole is my subject here because as we know that American Idol is a famous globally entertainment. It's designed to entertain the audience. And Simon Cohen as a subject, but you guys that he's not only the creator also, but he's also the famous controversial judge with his scathing insults involving the impoliteness strategies formulated by Jonathan Culpeper 1990. Now let's move to my research questions. So what are we going to discuss today is about what are the impoliteness strategies applied by Simon Cole. And the second is what type of impoliteness strategies must frequently applied by him or by Simon Cole. And also as my scope of research here guys, let me tell you there are two scopes of research here. The first is to find the impoliteness strategies applied by Simon Cole, and the second is to find most frequently impoliteness types by Simon Cole in American Idol radio. So let's see, on my mobile phone here, there is a picture of Simon Cole, right? So as I said to you guys, that our objectives here is Simon Cole. Thank you, and now let's move to literary review. So my literary review or my research of literary study here, there are 2 points that I want to describe to you. First is importance of Simon Cole's interests in X Factor, realized by Lamongan and Patricia in 2013. And second is the study in politeness in gender differences in Berlin by Hamilton. That's my previous study. And so about the underlying theory here, of course, I'm going to outline, but there are just three headmost drawing theories that I want to explain to you. First is about languages. We know that language is the headmost mean in communications, and also about the pragmatic, because pragmatic is my research approach in this qualitative research. Pragmatic is a study of language in context. And also talking about face, actually guys, face is described as imaging of a public, a public image. That's it. Alright, so, I'm not going to explain more about the biology today because so everyone has known that linguistics here is using qualitative descriptive research, right? And also, the reason object and subject, as I said before in my background, that I have two. Here is the object is, alright, Simon Cowell's utterances or his scathing commentaries in American Western. And as my subject, of course, who says the commentaries is Simon Cowell's. Okay, let me ask you Diamonds. Diamonds, do you know Simon Cowell?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you know, right? Okay, because of American Idol is famous. That's why I'm taking this research. And now everyone, let me tell you about the methodological research. Okay, how I am as a research taking the sequence of analysis data. The first is, of course, I'm going to reducing the large amounts of data here because I must interpret the categories or the proportions of the research. Laboratory and also a right step to analyze data and write a research report. It will be the last of my text today. And now let's move to the results. As we know that here I have a diagram or pie diagram here, a pie chart here. So in this pie chart, it's described or it's leading my results or my running of my research. That in this, guys, in this thesis defense, I want to tell you that the conclusions of my thesis is the most important strategies applied to Simon Cowell's is actually negative politeness. Because there are 60% among 100% society. So what is the overlap? Of course, the positive compliance is around 20%, or it consisting only 5 data instead of it. And the overlap is 12% of sarcasm, and the last is just 8% of more politeness is sarcasm. The last is both on record politeness. So this is my my research results. And you may see from these results too, and this pie chart too. So it does mean that my research is qualitative, but I don't show you guys the chart. Alright, and the last is about conclusions. So the conclusions here is, I'm going to rate to you here. In this percentage, there are most percentage of impoliteness strategies applied by Simon Cowell. The first is negative impoliteness, around 60%. And the second is positive compliance consisting 5 data of 20%, and the overlap is just only sarcasm and both are recorded